This is Monica of Moreish Cakes, and today we are making a really cute Father's Day cookie, or it could be even like a dad's birthday or something of that nature. But this is like a stein of beer or a glass of beer or a mug of beer. I'm not sure which country you come from as to what you actually call it. Now, in this tutorial, we are using my cookie dough recipe. This recipe is available online and you are welcome to grab a copy of it. It is tagged into the actual story itself. Now, I'm actually using my cookie liners here to roll out the dough, only because I wanted to see if it was going to be non-stick and how it actually behaved. And we actually baked them on two different things. So one was a cookie sheet, which I do now stock a brand called Savvy. It's available on our website. And the other one is just directly onto our cookie liners. Now, coming up now, you're going to see the difference between the two cookies baked on the two different sheets. So one is on that waffle look and the other one is on the baking cookie liner. So you can choose, which one you like the best. Once your cookies have cooled, you can start decorating. Now, I'm using over-the-top fondant. You can use your favorite type of fondant. I'm adding in a little bit of more hard. This is my Tylose. It's a quick developer and it's really, really good for fondant cookies. It'll firm up the dough so you're not using like a gum paste. It won't go hard, but it will be firm enough not to get damaged when you are baking them up later on. I'm just going to roll out the yellow one at the moment, and I'm going to use the cookie cutters. Now, the cookie cutters come from Custom Cookie Cutters here in Australia, and I know that they are available worldwide. They come in 3 pieces, which is the main stein or the whole thing itself, plus the little white frothy bit, and then a bit of an embosser, so it gives you a little bit of a shape. So you can see here I am just using that little embosser to give it the shape of the actual glass itself. And I'm going to cut away the top section of the whole cutter. So you can do it in little bits at a time. Whenever I do place it onto the cookie, I'm using a little bit of our more hard and sticky glue. This is a strawberry scented and strawberry flavored glue, which is very, very popular. And it's really great for sticking fondant onto cookies. The reason I'm doing 2 cookies is so that you can actually see the difference between the 2 types of tops that we're going to do, which is like the frothy bit of the beer stein. You can see here I'm just popping on the first of the actual glass section itself. You can do this in any color and it doesn't have to be like a beer one. I've done this one in yellow, but we're going to do it again in brown to be like the beer. And really you can do the handle in a different color. The choice is entirely yours. So again, I've got the glue on the cookie and I'm just making sure that it's centered and I'm happy with the position that it's actually on. And I always like to press down the edges so it gives like a rounded edge to the cookie, but it's up to you how you like to do it. Now, obviously these are just socials cookies, so I don't have gloves on before anyone comments. Now this is the fun part. I'm going to do the top section. So the first one I'm going to do for you, and this is just in plain white fondant, there's corn flour in that bag, is to grab a piece of cling wrap before I use that top cookie cutter. The reason being is that it's going to give this really fluffy cloud-like or foam look. I'm pushing it down so it does cut it nice and clean and then pulling that away. So when you lift it now, you'll see on the sides it's got this really cute little rounded look to the edge. And we're going to add on the glue again. This is the more hard and sticky edible glue. If you don't want to use an edible glue, you could use maybe a piping gel. I just find that it doesn't tend to dry as well. Or you can use a jam. Jam is actually quite popular as well. So there's that little look there. And I love this. I think this is a great effect. The next one, I'm just going to do it plain. So you'll see that it's flat. And I'm going to show you those 2 looks so you can choose which one you like. And then we're going to do the cookie in the brown as well, so it does look like beer. But then we're going to take that top section on the foam to the next level and add in royal icing. So it looks like a big frothy top of that stein or that beer. So now let's do the entire thing yet again in the brown. I did quite actually like the brown because it looks like a proper glass of beer, maybe because it was brown, I suppose. Maybe ale could be like more yellowish, I'm not sure. It's up to you. We could consider this definitely not a lager, maybe a Guinness if you make it even darker. It depends on what your favorite is. So it could be for the person that you're making it for, your dad, your grandpa, your uncle, whoever, or even yourself. And I'm just assuming it's a male here. It can obviously be a female. I am not gender specific here when it comes to these cookies. I just tend to find in our life it's probably mostly the men who do buy the beer or the big jug of beer like these ones. The ladies tend to, at least in Australia, get more of a glass of beer. So here we are doing literally the same thing again. We're using that cling wrap to create that effect of that bubble look to the top of the beer. And then the second one, we're going to do it plain. Now, mix up a batch of royal icing. It needs to be nice and thick because it needs to hold its shape. And I do apologize coming forward because my hand was actually in the way as I was piping. But you will see as I do eventually move my hand away. So you can see I've just got a piping bag here with the royal icing in it. And I'm doing like a little rosette or a little twirl for each of the sections of the foamy bit on top. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. You'll see a little bit better as my hand tends to move away. It creates a really cool little effect. Anything that goes wrong, because this is actually quite thick royal icing, you can use a little brush just to tidy it up a little bit. And then towards the end, I also add in a whole heap of luster. So you could use, for example, petal dust to give a little bit of depth and variation to the bottom of the glass. And then I use like a pearl luster. Again, all of these products are tagged in, so you'll be able to see them below as to what I've actually used. And I've just used like a little brush just to give them a little bit more dimension. And the final look is so, so cute. So here I am just tidying up some areas. I've dipped the brush in a little bit of water just to smooth out that royal icing. But I really love this effect. And I also think it makes for great eatability. So here the two of them are. This is the brown one. And as you can see, I've used a little bit of brown petal dust just to give it a little bit of depth or 3D effect. And of course, you can do so much more. And this was the yellow one. I think they're both awesome. I hope you enjoyed it.